Craig, you want to tell us about the purchase order that you need signed?
Just a little explanation. So the purchase order we went through the very beginning when we had that power failure back in the beginning of, well, it could have been the end of January, early February. That was for them to come in and diagnose. That paid for like 10 hours of service and diagnosing. So what they do is quite extensive. So they focus most of their day on the substation, and they had to pull all these big, huge disconnects out and do all kinds of intricate testing in there. So that took all day to do that kind of testing, which they were hoping to find something in there wrong, because that didn't point, that means it wouldn't point to the big transformer out in the yard there. So everything they tested inside came out fine, no problems. By the time they get all that done, their day was worked, it's up. So this purchase order is to test the big transformer that's out there. One of those big gray things you see out there. So what they gotta do is, test the oil in it, add some oil to it, make sure there's no impurities, make sure there's no water that got in there. And then there's a whole bunch of other components to that needs to be tested. So if you took the time and to read those 5 or 6 pages, you'd see all the stuff that they gotta do. So it's quite expensive, but we don't have a choice because that transformer is out of service right now. And we don't have a backup. So.
Okay.
Excuse me, I hit my mute button by accident. The expectation is by the time they get done that testing, that they think the oil's too low. And the hope is by adding the oil and all the stuff that they gotta do, they can fire up that thing and make sure it's functional, and we have a backup at that point to use. So hopefully by the end of that test, we will have a backup system ready to go in case of another emergency. Unless there's something up inside the transformer and they don't know that yet.
Yep.
So that's what I presented to you guys. That's what the cost is. And then we can get them scheduled.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the inspection costs for the transformer.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Do I hear any further discussion? Roll call vote. Fran Newton,
Aye.
Alan Silly,
Aye.
Kathleen DeWolf,
Aye.
Andy Fitch,
Aye.
Eli Badger says aye. I know Fran's already signed this. It is ready to be signed at the office.
Okay, that wasn't sent electronically?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah, I think it was.
Catherine,
Oh, as of when I went into the town hall, it hadn't been, but that was this, at
That-
noontime, so.
okay,
Since you guys
I haven't,
at the meeting, I can just take a copy of the minutes and attach it to the PO. You don't have to sign it again.
What was that? I just heard you don't have to sign it again. What was the first part?
Since you took a motion in a public meeting and it passed, I can just have a copy of the minutes as the approval. You don't have to sign it if you've already approved it here.
yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
okay. The one other item that I have before we go into non-public is I've sent you a loan designation of authorities revision requested. Since Mr. Smith is no longer with us, we are without someone that can sign off on our SRF loan for the septic receiving.
We need to make a motion to authorize you to sign it, Eli?
Yes, we do.
I'll make that
Go ahead,
right.
Kathleen,
I'll make that motion.
and I'll second it.
Do I hear any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Fran Newton,
Aye.
Alan Silly,
Aye.
Kathleen DeWolf,
Aye.
Andy Fitch,
Aye.
Eli Badger says aye. At this point, I would like to go into non-public session in under 91A:3B to discuss hiring.
Point of order, I see Naomi's on the call. Do we have a non-meeting before we go into non-public?
We will have a non-meeting afterwards.
You can do it either way, Fran. Either you can have a non-meeting to meet with council, but you can also meet with council in non-public session under J. I think it's J. It's J or L. I have to double check, but
Okay,
you can also have a non-public session with regard to a personnel action, and I can weigh in and you can seal the minutes. So any of those options are available to you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're not wasting your time, Naomi. Thank you.
now, part of this has already been sent and had a incentive and had an opinion. So I'd like her to be able to give the opinion in our non-public session.
Okay.
Okay? Roll call vote?
We haven't had a motion yet.
We haven't? I thought, okay.
We did, didn't we? Fran, you made the motion, I seconded it.
To go into non-public?
Oh, let's do it
No.
again, just to be safe.
I would like to have a motion to go into non-public in regards to hiring, and that would be in under 91A:3B.
I'll make that
And-
motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Fran Newton,
Aye.
Alan Silly,
Aye.
Kathleen DeWolf,
Aye.
Andy Fitch,
Aye.
Eli Badger says aye. We have come out of non-public session.
So are you going to have
And-
another public part, or are you just going to end the meeting entirely and then?
We are going to end the meeting now.
Okay, and then we'll stay for non-meeting. Okay.
There is no more business to be conducted at this time.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Fran Newton,
Aye.
Alan Silly,
Aye.
Kathleen DeWolf,
Aye.
Andy Fitch,
Aye.
Eli Badger says aye.